What's up, guys? Welcome back to Who Needs Name with PB&J.
Guys, we're back at it again
We're back at it.
with another episode. We're here.
Episode. Josh, I have a question for you and for all of our listeners today. Not at all tied into what we're going to talk
Oh,
about.
fantastic.
At all.
We love an off-topic bunny drill.
How early is too early to decorate for Christmas? Everybody, let us know what your thoughts are.
Before Thanksgiving.
Why are you eating this right now?
Sorry.
Josh just decided to shove his mouth filled with gummy bears. Right as I ask him a question. Before Thanksgiving is
Sorry,
too soon.
I just swallowed them whole. Yes, before Thanksgiving.
I couldn't swallow them all. No. Okay, so Kendall and I, my wife, as you guys have met, we're planning to decorate tomorrow.
No.
Which is Halloween, or as we call it, the 31st of October, because we don't celebrate the devil's holiday. I'm just joking. But we do plan to decorate.
That's so funny.
But we do plan to decorate for Christmas tomorrow.
No, dude, that's too early.
I know Pastor Christina already has her tree up, and she's already ready to go.
Does she really?
Yeah. One of them, at least. She probably has 10 of them. Who knows? But
That's crazy.
I saw in her B-reel a Christmas tree, and so I know that she's with me.
No,
even if
that's way too early.
You're not.
You could literally do the day after Thanksgiving. That's fine.
Yeah, but then you're missing like a whole month of potential time.
Yeah, but it's not.
I have a nerve gun today, everybody. It's chaos day. Oh, his ear.
Dude.
Okay, so Josh, how early is too early?
Never.
Never. That's what I thought.
Guys, this is not an abusive episode, I swear.
No, not at all. He's okay. Anything else? Do you want to weigh in on that?
No, I completely agree with everything that you're going to say today.
Okay, thank you. That's it's interesting that I just made this episode a difficult situation for you.
Oh, look at that.
And that you're laughing through
And I'm
it.
enjoying it.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because we're going to talk today about joy and difficulty.
Wow.
Come on,
Who would have
somebody.
thought? Who would have thought?
Josh, you actually text me with this episode. I don't know why I grabbed this. I want to fidget. You text me with this episode idea.
I did.
Like 2 weeks ago.
I did.
And we've been sitting on it. What has prompted you to want to talk about this?
So, this is funny. I didn't want to talk about this, but Brandon was like, your life is like this right now, so we should definitely talk about it.
Well, but you came up with the original idea.
Yeah, for sure. And I was
But
like,
then you didn't want to talk about it tonight. I didn't
it's
throw
not
you under the bus
It's
like
not that I
that.
didn't want to talk about it. It was like we were talking about the ideas, and he's like, "Oh, we should talk about that." And I was like, "It so happens to be that I'm going through the fire right now and trying to find joy."
Yeah.
And it's like ironic, but it's also like so God that it's like he put that on my mind there.
Yeah.
Because if I got that idea today, I probably wouldn't have shared it with him.
Yeah.
But back then, I was like, "Oh, it's so good how to have joy during the fire because all these good things and everything." And now I'm like, nah.
And now he's throwing things at his best friend.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Unbelievable. So you know what I just kind of thought about? This is something that every human has in common.
Fire.
That we're all gonna have fiery seasons in our life.
Yeah.
We're all gonna experience difficulty within our lives. And I've heard it said, because we believe in Jesus here, that's the 31st of October, we believe in him, that for Christians, for believers in Jesus, this is the closest we'll ever get to hell. And so how we steward, it's the one chance
That's
that
really
we actually get
interesting.
to steward difficulty. We'll get to steward praise. We'll get to use our worship. We'll get to use our joy in heaven endlessly, and the good positive emotions that we'll experience. But this time that we have on earth is the one time that we as believers get the opportunity to actually steward difficulty and challenging seasons in our life.
Yeah.
And to use those as a witness to the world around us that, hey, there's something different, and hey, God can give us joy. And I found that perspective really interesting.
Yeah, I'd never ever thought about that until you said it right now.
Yeah.
Initially, I thought you were just talking about October 31st. And then
No,
I was like, nope,
no,
actually,
no.
the entire existence of Earth is that's what you mean.
Yeah. And so as believers, I think it's important to talk about, okay, how do we handle difficulty?
Yeah.
Difficulty is not fun.
No,
Right?
it's
The
not.
fire isn't fun.
The fire's hot.
The fire's hot.
It's hot.
And we talked a couple episodes ago, or maybe it was the last one, I don't know, a couple ago, I think, about how the fire can also be used to refine.
Yeah.
So I think for one thing, we can take joy, and that's literally James 1.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, get out the sword. I was going to get my sword.
This is our major family Bible right here. But
would you consider me...
Bible?
Yeah, it's in my bag.
Okay.
I'm going to grab it. But would you consider me part of the major family?
Yeah, you can use our Bible.
No, that's not what I'm asking.
Oh. An actual part?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've told you that so many times. He literally knows the code to our house.
I do. Like I know more things about his life than he.
He knows my bank pin. He knows.
So SSS.
You probably do. SSS. James chapter 1. It says this, and this is verse 2. Consider pure joy, my brothers and sisters, when you face trials, difficulties of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. And let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything.
Mm.
Take joy when you encounter trials. It sounds so counterintuitive, but I really believe that it's a supernatural ability given to us by the Holy Spirit to not just endure difficulty, but to really have joy and take hope in the midst of difficulty. Why? Knowing it's producing something in his hands.
Yeah. That's really interesting. And now coming at it from a perspective of like right now, and especially today, like I've really felt the fire.
Yeah.
Like just specifically today, it's like I just went through some things and it's like it sucked.
Yeah.
And in the midst of it, it's like, okay, like I know that I have joy and that I'm supposed to have joy. And like internally, I know that like I know that it's in God's hands, so it's in good hands.
Yeah.
And everything is gonna work for His good. But in the moment, I was just frustrated, dude.
Yeah. And that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
To be frustrated. I don't think walking in joy means you're never gonna feel frustrated.
Mm-hmm. I think that's important too. You don't have to walk in. Or I was talking about this earlier. You don't have to. How do I word this? When learning to walk in joy through the fire doesn't mean to ignore your frustration.
Yeah.
That was my thing. It's like, I don't want to ignore my frustration and just say, oh, I have the joy of the Lord and I'm okay.
Yeah.
But like, I'm really feeling frustrated.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, but I think it means the frustration has an expiration date where you're like, okay, I'm going to allow myself to be frustrated, but then I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
And I'm going to choose to focus on something else. It's like in Joshua, God says to Joshua so many times in like one chapter, do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Mm-hmm. What he doesn't say to him is do not feel afraid. Do not feel afraid. Do not feel afraid. One is an emotion. The other is a choice.
Yeah.
One is I'm experiencing something that makes sense, that's human, that's normal. The other is I'm going to operate out of this. This is going to become who I am. And I think it's one thing to say, I might feel frustrated, but I will not be frustrated. I will not walk in frustration.
Yeah.
I will not identify myself with frustration, even if I may feel it a little bit.
Yeah. No, that's really good. And I think I had that moment today. Like, I'd probably say for like an hour or two, I was feeling frustrated. I was pouting. I was just like, I'm in my room. I was literally sitting in my room like this. I was like, I'm just like watching a show. I'm just like not having it today. Doors closed. Yeah. And then I was talking to someone and we like prayed about it. And I was like, okay, I'm done pouting.
Who was that someone?
My girlfriend.
Oh.
Maybe we'll have her on for an episode. Who knows?
Did you guys kiss?
Huh?
What? Maybe we will. Should we have her on for an episode? Wow.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Let us know. 500,000 views and we'll have her on.
You're darn right. We'll have her on for 500,000 views.
I'll have my mom on for that many. And
we
her.
love your mom.
So do I.
Yeah. Your mom, she can come on for 5 views.
Well, that'd be every episode.
No, yeah, I hope so. We just really tanked this one. Okay.
It has like 1 view, and it's my mom. And she's like, I want to come on so bad.
I'm ready. And you're like, no,
Mom, no. You're the only one who watched that episode, Mom.
Oh my gosh. She's so kind. Okay, we need to have her on. We need to do a mom episode. My mom and your mom on.
Yeah, That's
good. I mean, we'll have our moms on. I mean, like, just me.
Yeah.
We'll have, yeah. That'd be so fun.
So good.
They can share awkward stories of us. Okay, anyway, go on.
That would be good.
Go on.
What were we talking about? Oh, and I was, So we prayed. And she was amazing because she just like rerouted me back to Jesus. And it was just like, everything's going on for a reason. And so like, it's going to be okay. But it's like, it's have your moment, right?
Yeah.
So she encouraged me, but also was like, feel what you're feeling.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I was like feeling what I'm feeling. And I'm like, I'm done pouting, and I kind of just had to refocus myself back onto the main thing.
Yeah.
I had this moment where I was like, because I could go play like a video game, or I could watch a movie.
Yeah.
That's like, that's distracting, and it's great because I'm not thinking about the thing.
Yeah.
But what is really going to reroute me back to the main road that I want to be on, right?
Yeah.
And that's Jesus, and that's God.
Yeah.
And so what I was doing then is just like listening to worship music.
Yeah.
And wanting to read my Bible, and then I was also preparing to like come here too.
Yeah.
So it wasn't necessarily distracting myself, but getting myself back on the routine of like my normal life.
Yeah.
Which
that's
is really
good.
Yeah.
That's really
not to soak in the sadness, you know.
Ooh, I like that. Don't soak. Be careful where you soak.
Be careful where you soak, because you might stay there.
You might stay there.
You might get stuck in the soakiness.
And it might saturate you.
In the soakiness.
The soaking might saturate your soul. Oh,
SSS.
SSS. Full circle. There it is. There it is. Just real quick, bunny trail here.
Yeah.
How much did my hamburger help you today?
It was,
I made a really good burger.
Honestly, the hamburger was good. It was really the pickles that brought me up.
Oh, okay. Okay, that was a positive. Okay, the pickles were great. The pickles were
I mean,
great.
you put a little too much ketchup on for me,
What?
but
I did what? I have one more in the chamber, my guy.
I loved it. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay, that's good. Oh man.
Okay, so joy in the fire.
Yes, joy in the fire. We know that it's producing stuff within us if we allow it to, and oftentimes, you know what I like to do is I like to pull the fire alarm too quick, and I like to be like, okay, I need to evacuate and get out of here way before God's actually done producing in me what he needs to produce.
Elaborate on that a little bit.
So like God may allow, he's not the source of any evil or anything bad. He may allow it, and in the allowing, he's going to do exactly what he promises. Take what the enemy meant for evil, so it's not from him, and use it and turn it and work it for good.
Okay.
But in order for that to happen, because we're stubborn creatures, and because we like what we like, it can take time in order for us to develop into those good things he's called us to develop into. So if we rush the gun and we evacuate the fire that we may be walking in too soon, and we pull the plug, or we give up, or we throw in the towel and we run away where God hasn't called us to go, we may just be delaying what God wants to establish because we're just trying to get out of it instead of saying, God, what are you trying to teach me? And even though it seems like it's going on and on and on and on, I'm still going to have joy even in the midst of it.
No,
why are you smiling?
So 2 things. Well,
Okay.
actually 3 things.
Okay.
1, I was gonna look at the story of the 3 guys in the fire, and then I forgot what book of the Bible it was in, and then I was scrolling.
Daniel.
Or scrolling. I was flipping.
Yeah.
And I found Lamentations, and I was like,
oh yeah.
so good, but I don't know enough on it. And then as you were talking, I was like, wow. Is that not exactly the realization I had? And I kind of want to be a little vulnerable about it and kind of go into what I was going with.
Go ahead.
So right now I'm like looking for a job, and the job that I have right now isn't really giving me the hours that I want. And just kind of everything is, I've really been just kind of like making it like by like every time. And I have people who can like support me a little bit, but for where I'm trying to like go, and like I graduate from college, and so I'm looking to get a full-time job with that. I just haven't been lucky with like anything. I've had some jobs and it's like, that's not it. Or I haven't got the interview, or I just haven't gotten the job, right?
Yeah.
And then I had a conversation, and it was like, maybe this season God is trying to show me something. And until I learn that thing, I'm not going to be able to get out of this. Right? Like this job of me, or the season of me not having the job that I want, what is keeping me, like, why am I in this season, right? So it's like, why am I still at this job that I'm at? Why am I still like living at home? Why am I still like in this same atmosphere, in the same environment that I initially just want to get out of and like move on into life, right?
Sure.
But why am I still here, right?
Sure.
And I think, and this may be for someone, I think what God showed me was like, I was living in the future. Like, oh, this is going to be great when I can move out and X, Y, and Z can happen. And when I have a job, and then I'm financially free and all these things, and I pay off my student loans and everything's great. And then I can travel and do all these things. And it's like, but God put me in this season right here, right now for a reason.
Yeah.
And so I need to steward the time that I have right now for a reason. And for a while I was going into my job and I was just like dreading it. I was like, I'm just here to get my paycheck. I'm here for the hours.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I just hated going into work.
Yeah.
And then I had a mindset change. It's like, okay, like, let's enjoy going to work. Yeah. Like, I'm here for a reason. I'm here to be a light to someone. I'm here to be the salt of the earth, whether it's in church, whether it's in my place of employment, right?
Wow.
So I think it really caused this mindset to change.
Yeah.
And this recently happened. So, like, I haven't seen, it's not like I did it for a day and now this new job came and everything's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
I think this is something that God is really, like, kneading into me, that it's going to take a couple times. Like, when you
building
need
character.
Yeah, like, when you need dough to, like, prepare it to, like, rise, you don't just, like, knead it once and then it's good. You have to, like, knead it for, like, 5 minutes, really just get everything incorporated together, and then it can properly rise and then turn into, like, the bread, right?
Wow.
So I think right now I'm just getting, like, this is, like, kneaded by God, just, like...
And it's loving.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And it's good.
Yeah, they bake with love.
Yeah. And he'll take evil and he'll work it for good. And he'll take difficulty.
Yeah.
Or just unfortunate circumstances and he'll turn it and he'll work it. Dude, thanks for being vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think there's real power in just being real, you know, about what you're going through, what you're facing, and how you're even seeing God's hand in that. Because it's easy to talk about, like, yeah, we just rejoice and just take joy, but it's real too.
Yeah, it's like there's days it's like I just feel like stuck and I'm like not in the mood, and it's just like.
And like I said too, like it's okay to feel that way. There's a reason why Lamentations is a book in the Bible, and it's because it's okay to cry out to God.
Yeah,
there's a reason why a majority of the Psalms are actually tearful, sorrowful, sad.
Yeah,
there's a reason for that. The reason is because that is human. Here's our tendency as humans: when we experience sadness, and I'm as guilty of this as anybody. It's to take our sadness to other things, when in reality, like, God's okay with you feeling sad. Just feel sad with Him.
Yeah.
Just take your sadness to Him. Walk through it with Him.
Yeah. I like to say this, that, like, we're broken people, so we're not meant to handle all of our emotions, and the one who can handle our emotions is God, because He's perfect. And so it's like, if I were to be super angry at you, you're not going to be able to handle my emotions, but God is... He can handle my emotions because He made me. He made my emotions. So it's like, if I'm sad, if I'm angry, if I'm happy, if I'm frustrated, if I'm whatever, right? Like, cry it out to God. And like, and you could be angry. Like, there's some angry prayers in here for sure, dude.
God can handle it.
He can handle it. He's the only one who can properly handle
He'd want you to go to Him.
Yeah.
Instead of these other things. And, dude, while you're being vulnerable, I might as well be too.
Hey, come on.
So I am, and you're the same way. By nature, happy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we're happy people.
Goofballs.
Like to enjoy life.
Good old knuckleheads.
But, like, I told you, I'm not going to tell people, but, like, last night was tense for me. And it was a really weighty thing with ministry and for like 5 hours trying to navigate the situation. And I woke up today just on empty.
Yeah.
I was just totally on empty.
Yeah.
And I cried like 3 times today.
Wow.
By myself.
Yeah.
I would cry with Kendall, or probably with you.
Yeah.
I would.
Well, if you were crying, I would cry. And if I cried, you would cry.
With you, but just like in tears.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking to Jesus, you know, and I'm just like, all right, like, it's all gonna be okay. Like, I'm in your hands. Every situation is in your hands.
Yeah.
It's all gonna be okay. And for me, again, I feel like I come back to this all the time, but I will just picture the joy of heaven one day. When I'm in situations like that, when I'm like, okay, I can't, like, by nature, I'm not feeling joyful. I'll just take a moment and I'll just reflect on the glory that is yet to be revealed one day.
Yeah.
And I will think about the perfection that we'll get to experience and walk in, and how we will literally see Him, and how we will be in perfect harmony and relationship with Him in every way. And the joy of, like, fellowship in heaven.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking about that today. And I'm
feast.
like, we have fun right now.
Imagine the fun.
Imagine when we get to party all day, every day, and we get to go. I'm like, that's going to be so fun. And it's just endless. There's only good. There's only all these things. And, like, that's not just a lofty concept. Like, that's reality. Like that's our future reality. And so I'm like, okay, did last night suck? And did this morning suck? Yes, it did. And I'm not going to ignore that. But I'm also not going to stay here longer than what I'm supposed to stay here.
Yeah.
I'm going to acknowledge it. And I'm going to say, this is real. And I'm going to take it before God. And then I'm going to say, but okay, God, you're in control.
Yeah.
And okay, God, I'm going to redirect my eyes. And I can... There was this Maverick City song that came on that it's new, and so I don't know, but it basically just talks about how I'm going to spend all my days with you, like one day, like, and just in his presence. And I'm like, yes, like that's joy.
Yeah.
Joy is like, nothing is perfect. Everything is broken. And I feel like maybe at times like life just sucks, you know, and I just hate life. However, what?
No,
However,
I'm just here for it.
So good.
Yeah.
He's so faithful, and there's so much to look forward to. So I preach that message.
Yeah.
Joy is more of a focus and a feeling.
Yeah.
So we can feel.
I learned so much from that.
We do not ignore our feelings, but we choose our focus in the midst of that, and that's when we walk in joy.
Yeah, I think what you hit on was so key is that having that eternal mindset, right? And it's not neglecting what you're going through. Also, thank you for being vulnerable too. Vulnerable bros today.
Hey, t-shirts.
What was I saying? That eternal.
You just thanked me.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. You can say it again. I'm joking.
Thank you for being vulnerable.
Thanks, Josh.
I appreciate it. And I think they appreciate it too. Because it's relatable, dude.
Yeah.
It's not like, I don't want to like sit here and pretend like my life's perfect and I don't go through anything. Yeah. Like, I go through my trials, you go through your trials, and they're different in their own ways, but it's what makes us human. It's what makes us, like, we can come together and we can still, like, at the end of the day, God's with us, and we're in his hands, and it's going to be good. Yeah. And that eternal mindset is so, like, just that heaven, that perspective of heaven to, like, really see life, and it's like, today might suck, but, like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what God's going to do with this. Like, dude, how is he gonna turn this to be so good, right? Yeah. And it's like, like, instead of being sad, like, almost get excited, like, ooh, what's he gonna do this time?
I know.
And it's hard to be in the moment. Like, trust me, like 4 hours ago, I wasn't about, ooh, what's God about to do with my mess? I was like,
1 hour ago, you weren't.
No facts. He was trying to cheer me up, and I was just pissed. I was like,
trying to shoot him with the Nerf gun. Probably not a good idea.
No, you shoot me in the head with a Nerf gun, and I'm like, knock it off.
You were livid. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so what's so interesting is this would have been, oh my gosh, I'm old. This would have been 8 years ago already when I was just starting in ministry. Holy crap.
Whoa, dude.
I was 17, and I traveled around for a couple weeks with a care pastor who would go and visit people in the hospital or a nursing home, like basically right before they would die. Mm-hmm. That was a very callous way
before
to
they
say
would
that.
pass. Before they would pass.
Before they would pass.
That's
that was so mean.
We're working on this vernacular, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, right before they would pass. And I remember going with him a few places, but I remember going to see this one lady, and she, like, it was very clear that the end was near. How's that for vernacular?
Good.
And you know, when you're in those situations, it's oftentimes a lot of like sad tears and a lot of just grief and a lot of looking back. And we walk in, and she knows that this is like near the end, and she's crying, but they're like tears of joy.
Yeah.
Because she's just like, oh my gosh, I get to go home, and I get to go meet Jesus, and I get to go do all this. And I just like remembered that now, but I'm like, what a beautiful picture of like how you can have joy even whenever it seems like, and that's what we see with Paul all the time. That's what we see with the disciples. That's what we see with basically every person in this book that we read every single day is, yes, a ton of difficulty. Read Acts. Yeah. You know, like difficulty after difficulty after difficulty, but the joy of being the light in every situation made it all worth it.
That's so good. Yeah. The book of Acts has so much stuff just like that.
Yeah.
I think I kind of want to give them some practicals.
Do it.
So about having joy in the fire.
Practical.
Practicals. Hit me. Practicals.
That's good.
Because we
have issues.
Yeah, we do.
Hey
yo, practical.
Good.
So I think we can sit here and talk about it, but I feel like we should give them a couple 1-2 little pieces of.
Let's do it. Go.
One, have a wise counsel around you, a good community around you, right?
Yeah.
When I was going through this, it's like I was able to talk to my girlfriend. I was able to talk to you about it. I was able to talk to people who are going to direct me back to the path that I want to go down, right?
Yeah.
And it would be bad if I went to go talk to my friend who always wants to drink, and he's like, dude, let's go get drunk. And I'd be like, well, that would solve my problems for the moment, right?
Yeah.
But is that really the best thing for me?
It's going to make it worse tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So make sure you
wise
have
counsel. That's huge.
Yeah.
And counselor who's also going to say, yeah, that does suck. And let's sit
who's going to be honest
and
with
let's
you.
acknowledge it.
Yeah.
But then who's also going to say, all right, but come on, let's pick up our heads. Let's keep moving. Let's keep marching.
Yeah.
Right? Like both and. It's not denial. It's
Yeah,
not,
you don't want
don't
to
feel that way. Don't feel that way. It's like, no, good counsel is like, no, that makes sense. You feel that way. That
like,
sucks.
if that was me, I'd be in your position. Like I'd be frustrated too.
Yeah.
For sure.
100%.
Yeah. What about you? What would you? Wise counsel?
Wise counsel, I would say grow in that intimacy with Jesus in those valley moments. There's nothing like a valley moment with Jesus.
Yeah.
And there's no time whenever I felt Jesus the least than in the valley.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. The valleys, you don't feel Jesus, but my gosh, do you get to know him? And my goodness, do you build intimacy in the valley with him? And so it's precious time. It's valuable time.
Yeah.
Whenever you're not feeling joyful, whenever you're feeling like, okay, I need to choose joy because it's not coming naturally, that's the time for you to lean into Jesus because my gosh, the bond that is formed there. I look back at my lowest points and I'm like, that's what solidified me. That's what grounded me. Not the mountaintops, not the peaks, but it was in the wrestling, in the dirt, in the grime that I'm like, I'm so glad that I pressed into Jesus because I see how valuable that was in hindsight.
Yeah.
3.
4.
You want to skip back to me?
Yeah.
Fix your focus.
Oh, here we go. That's what I was going to say.
Of course I'm going with that.
Oh,
Fix that focus.
I got mine.
Eyes up and eyes out.
Yeah.
Eyes up to who God is. Eyes out to see what's the impact I can make even in the midst of this season.
It's kind of a part B to that.
Ooh, a little 3B.
A little 3B.
Okay.
Worship. Which is getting your focus right. When I was in my moment today, I was like, wow, if I could only feel or experience what I was experiencing yesterday when I was worshiping God.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, you can.
I can.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that's what's so cool. It's like, whoa, I can choose that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a choice I can make. So worship, fix your eyes, worship, pray, get in the word.
Yeah.
Even though the word honestly, the word might be a little hard when you're frustrated because you're just sitting there and reading. So do something verbal. Speak something. If you're going to pray out loud. Yeah. I've been doing this and I would recommend this. Record prayers in your voice memos on your phone.
Yeah.
Even when you're on the mountain and when you're in the valley.
Yeah.
If you think of something and you have something on your heart,
yeah,
pray and record on your phone.
Yeah.
So there's been so many times I've been going through something and then I just go back to a prayer that I've recorded and I'm just like, wow, that's what I really needed to hear.
That's good. Yeah.
So I would say that too.
I would also say journal your gratitude. Have a gratitude
talked about
journal.
this a lot. Yeah.
I know. We have not, or we have?
We have.
Okay. Yep. So we don't need to say more. Journal your gratitude. It's important.
We should do a gratitude challenge. November, the month of gratitude. Every day, we should share one thing we're grateful for on our social media.
Okay. There we go.
Spread the gratitude.
I like that.
And it starts not tomorrow. November 1st.
The day after. Christmas season.
Not October 31st.
November 1st.
November
officially
1st.
Christmas time.
No, not officially Christmas time.
I felt like I had one more thing I was going to say, Josh.
Yeah. I think what you were going to say is sometimes you just need to take a nap.
No, that's so facts, bro.
I'm being
that's so facts.
Sometimes you need to.
Yes.
Sometimes you just need to take a nap. You need to
have a nice meal
and eat something. I've been.
Let me make you a burger.
Guys, you better say you like it, or he'll shoot you with his Nerf gun.
I got it right here.
No, for real. Sometimes you just need to, treat your body right.
Yeah.
Because how you're thinking, treat your mental, treat your physical, and your spiritual, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes
it's all interconnected.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Go work out. I know for me, when I'm in my head, like I can work out and then I'm like, okay, I start to feel a little bit better.
Yep.
Eat a good meal. Something
meal.
that's good for you. Don't just go eat McDonald's because then you're going to feel like crap after.
Sometimes that's okay.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
But
not all the time.
Sometimes broccoli feels good when you eat it.
It does. Broccoli always feels good. I love broccoli.
I ate a thing of broccoli and I was like, wow, I feel pretty good.
It's so good. 100%. And
I take back that thing about McDonald's.
What?
Because I eat McDonald's.
Do you really?
Sometimes. Dude, they have good coupons.
And they have good ice cream when it works.
When it's working.
When it's working. I'm trying to think. I can't figure out what that practical was. So I guess we weren't supposed to say it. I think that was a good list. Do you have any else?
No, I think that's it. I think also realize this, that it's okay to feel what you're feeling.
Yeah.
It's completely okay. I know we touched on it a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't, there's like, you need a good balance, right? You shouldn't have the people that are like, no, you shouldn't be feeling that. Like, you have the joy of the Lord, so just feel joy. You shouldn't be feeling this.
Yeah.
And also, you shouldn't have the people like, dude, that sucks. Like, that just sucks. Your life sucks. Like, it's not going to get any better. Like, dude, I know my life sucks. Like, like this blows. Sorry, this blows, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you need, it's like, life, like, your feelings are valid.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But fix your mindset.
Right.
Like, I'm here to, like, I love asking this question. It's like, do you want a solution or do you want to just be comforted, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're like, hey, like, what's something that's going to get me out of this? Like, do we need to go do this something? Can we talk about this or whatever? Or sometimes it's like, just like sit with me.
Yeah.
And just like, let me talk.
Yep.
You know? So I would say find that healthy balance.
And good friends, good godly friends, you also just need discernment on like what levels require what. Right? Like if you're like, oh, I stubbed my toe and I'm going to pout about it for 4 hours.
You'd slap me in the face.
Yes, because that would be a good friend in that moment to be like, you are so much better than this. Stop it, right? But if you just went to the doctor and some terrible thing came back, my gosh, let yourself feel that for weeks. Yeah. Right? Like, you're not going to rush that process. At the same time, you're progressively going to feel and shift. Feel and shift. And you'll slowly begin to sense and feel some joy in your life because of that progression. So you're not ignoring. You're just discerning, okay, based off the situation, what am I going to focus on? Yeah. What am I
Address
feeling?
it.
Yep.
Address it. That's 100%. Really good. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, and just don't be afraid to seek help. I don't want to say seek help because that makes it feel like you can't do it on your own. You can do it on your own sometimes, but don't be afraid to have people by your side.
I can't do it on my own.
Yeah.
At all. I can't. How many times do I just call you with stuff?
Dude, you're like, dude, I don't know.
I know. Poor Josh is in this position in my life.
Now it's Kendall.
Now it's Kendall too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
but that's what we're here for, dude.
That's what we're here. That's what we're here for. So have good community in your life who you can go to with stuff like that. Yeah, who are in it with you. Yeah, joy. How to joy. That's our church series right now. That's what we should title the message.
Is that what we're gonna title this episode? How to joy.
That'd be so crazy.
Let's do it.
That'd be wild.
All right. No. You mind if I pray us out?
Pray us out, man.
All right. Dear Lord, thank you for this conversation. Just thank you for everyone listening today, Lord. I just pray that during whatever season we may be in, Lord, whether we're in a season in the valley, whether we're on the mountaintop, Lord, or whether we're in the middle, I just pray that we just continue to seek you through whatever the season may be giving us, Lord, whether it is suffering, whether it is a season of happiness, Lord. I just pray that we are able to process whatever is going on, that we don't neglect it, but we address it, Lord, and that we just place it right back down at your feet, and that you will give us everything that we need to get through that season, and that you will take whatever the enemy meant for evil and you will turn it to good. Yeah. And so we thank you for that. And we praise you. We give you praise day after day, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you guys so much for watching. What a banger episode.
What a fun one.
And we'll see you next time.
Pew, pew, pew.
Pew.